energy, replenishment, and balancing my hormones. And also, if you watched my last video, my smoothie bowl recipe, Kurt, how good was the salted caramel smoothie bowl?
So yummy.
So yummy. So I'm gonna make my smoothie bowl inspired by that, aka the same thing, but it's gonna be a smoothie, not a bowl. The 3 Tropeaka products I'm using are the boost powder, that's like my source of protein. As you guys know, I always start my day with protein. I'm using coconut water powder because, not that it was really a workout, but after a walk, I did sweat a little bit, so I want to replenish my electrolytes. And then Maca powder, and look, Maca powder, it's really good at balancing your hormones and giving you energy, like sustained energy throughout the day. But I honestly just love the flavor, like it's like honeycomb toffee, so I always use it in like any of my salted caramel kind of protein smoothies. But the first thing we need is ice. I always like to add the icy things and the liquid first, and then the powder so it doesn't like stick to the edge of the bowl. And then, are you even a health blogger if you don't have a stash of frozen bananas in your freezer? I think not. So I always just freeze them like this in halves, and I find them easier to pull apart. And sometimes I only want half a banana, so I'd rather just have the option. I don't always use coconut milk or almond milk. I'll often just use water, but I don't know, I'm just mixing it up today. I will also add a little bit of water. Now for the powder time. As you guys know, I do keep my Tropeaka stuff in jars, but just for the sake of the video and just so you can see what they look like, I did bring out the packets of them as well. Okay, so a serving size of any of their proteins is pretty much a heaped tablespoon, and then I add a little bit more, so like a heaped tablespoon and a little bit. I usually add a teaspoon of this. And then the same with the coconut powder. Pink Himalayan salt, just like a little dash. Add some cinnamon to it. And then if you have vanilla powder, I highly recommend adding vanilla powder. I just think it tastes more like a cake batter when I do add vanilla. One of the most important ingredients, in my opinion. They do have the pits in them, so please do yourself a favor and get the little pits out. Let's go and give Curtis a taste. Do you want to taste it?
This looks amazing. Super chocolatey banana.
Oh, there's like a little bit of cacao.
Tastes chocolatey.
It's a salted caramel.
Maybe it's because my nose is off.
Well, you're a waste.
I just want to show you guys the way that Ceci decides to work. She blames all the mess on me, but
No.
look at this table.
This is behind the scenes of a YouTube household. Normally my desk is beautiful with flowers, but I filmed my protein bowl thing on this desk, so that's why the light's all here. So I just put everything in a pile, and now I haven't made it pretty again. I'm just making my thumbnails. For everyone who asks, I just make all my thumbnails on Photoshop.
Your eyes look so blue right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
This color, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, people.
This process goes on for about an hour, and then she comes and asks my opinion. I give her my opinion, and then she goes back to what she had in the first place.
I like my thumbnails. So I'm a little bit hungry now, so I'm having a mid-morning snack. They're just coconut wraps, literally just made out of coconut meat and Himalayan salt with some baby spinach. And then in here I've got 1 whole egg and an egg white, pink Himalayan salt, chili, and pepper. I don't really like eating gluten-free things. I don't really like to use like lettuce cups as wraps because, let's be honest, if you're not gonna have a wrap, you don't really want a lettuce cup. So that's what it looks like. Test for you. Oh look, because it's made out of coconut, when it gets hot, it gets really oily. Yeah, if you're scared of healthy fats, don't get these. Yum.
Solid.
What do you think? Should we just go get a coffee and then like, if I stay in this, I'm held accountable and I have to train?
No, you have to train either way.
You're so mean.
Yeah. Go stand in the sun. Go on. Jump for the ledge.
Ooh, that is nice. What?
Are you ridiculous?
You are. Yeah, let's sit in the sun.
Buzz off. That was the most annoying thing you could have possibly done. I want you, you'll buy me a new one now. You get me a new one.
Thanks.
Yeah, how'd that feel? You did it. Oh,
I can't even lick it because it's milk. This is very glary.
Yeah, you look good.
We just came back from coffee. What we're going to do is a boxing session. So as you guys know, I am doing my ebook Sweat It to Shred It. So I'm on week 2 and technically today it's my day off, but I'm full of energy. So hashtag listen to your body. We haven't done boxing since forever. I just want to get really good at it and be like a weapon and be able to do combos. And then one day actually verse
Verse me.
but like you let me win.
I'm doing non-contact sparring. It's like what we do at training. Like you do it as like a
You don't
warm-up.
touch each other.
You don't touch each
No,
other.
I want to punch. I just think that's a cool skill if like a girl is a good boxer. Yeah.
And we're gonna make her skip. She said she's hopeless at skipping.
Before we go to the gym, this is girl time. You need to go.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about periods? So if you've watched my previous vlogs, you'll know that I was super stressed out back in May. Because I was so stressed out like creating my ebook, I lost my period. And even though I feel like so chill and zen now, I'm just trying to remember what my acupuncturist told me. But she was essentially saying that your last 3 months affects your egg production. I guess I have to wait for my body to be super chill and relaxed for me to like get my period back and ovulate and all that kind of stuff. And I've been doing literally everything I can to try to get my period back. So my naturopath told me to increase my starchy carb intake. So I've been eating loads of quinoa, sweet potatoes, and I haven't been working out like as intensely. Like I'm doing my sweat it to shred it ebook, but taking it easy and relaxing and not stressing out my body. And also I've started acupuncture, and I love acupuncture. So last time I lost my period last year, I think because I got like super lean and my body fat percentage was so low, and I went to Liz and she did acupuncture on me and I got my period back literally 3 days later. So I've been doing weekly acupuncture. I've done it twice now and I'm gonna keep doing it. And then every time I leave, she like leaves these little things in me. So these are like mini needles. So this time she left them there, but last time she left them on my ovaries. And obviously every time she mixes it up depending on what she's trying to get my body to do. From what I understand, the first time she did acupuncture, she was trying to stimulate my ovaries. And then the last time I got acupuncture, which was like 3 days ago, she was trying to circulate my blood movement and getting my blood moving around my body. And she also told me that I have to increase my blood tonic foods, if that makes sense. Eating lots of beetroot and seaweed. These ones are seaweed vegetable spirals. Also got like normal crispy nori pieces, black sesame seeds. So I'm using the Ultra Cleanse like every 3 days. That's what the package looks like, but I just can't be bothered to go up there. And this is going to help support my blood circulation and detoxify my body. But I've just told myself that right now my focus is on balancing my body and getting my period back, because I really feel like my body is balanced and my hormone tests show that my hormones are all level. It's just bringing on the actual period part now, so fingers crossed.
Alright, that's it.
I don't like skipping.
Lean into that one more. Strong. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Yeah. Those first few punches are just nice and light. Beautiful, that's better. Heading up, moving. Good rest. 1, 2. You have 4 seconds. Come on. That's good. That's good. Oh. 1, 2. Three punches there. 10. Good. Ooh, yeah.
That was so much fun. I'm not even thinking about working out. It's like, it's fun. Kurt told me the proper way to do it. I really engage my abs and my legs. Whereas like if I used to do like group boxing, it would just burn my shoulders.
Yeah.
But this, like my abs are sore.
Yeah, it's about keeping like body height lower and like you're moving your hips to throw the punches rather than just fall on top of you and your shoulders. I'm gonna go train.
Okay, and I'm gonna go home and have a shower. Thank you.
It's okay.
I know, I'm really sweaty. Sorry.
Bottom is deep as the ocean, caught up in the miles of emotions, drowning in the daydream of you and I. But bottom is trying to find out, is this really love breaking through the sound?
now. One of them is baking and just the kitchen in general. And the second one is salted caramel. I'm literally obsessed with staying in the kitchen and just creating yummy recipes. I just feel like it's a way that I can really unwind, de-stress, and let my creativity flow. And that may sound really weird, but it's honestly the truth. I just can mindlessly bake and not follow a recipe. And let's be honest, I love food. So this next recipe is honestly one of the best things I've ever created. It's a raw vegan salted caramel cheesecake. But let me just say, I don't advise you eat half the batch in one sitting. How do I know that? Yep, we all know that I suffer with portion control. Pretty much all of the ingredients are just from Loving Earth. And remember, I do have a discount code for them, so 25% off for the rest of the month, and that is LOVINGSARAHSDAY. Hopefully I get another discount code for next month, so in November, but I'll keep you guys posted. But enjoy my delicious recipe, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had like 3 of them at lunchtime today. I just love them so much, I couldn't stop at one. Salted caramel is my weakness, and fruit and nut mix is my weakness, and anything raw vegan, again, my weakness. This whole recipe is really rough. You don't have to follow it to a T, but as long as you stick around these measurements, you should be okay. So I'm using around 1 cup of dates and I'm soaking them in hot water. Make sure you get all the pits out first. And then I'm using blanched almond meal because I feel like this tastes more like a cake batter rather than normal almond meal. I'm using 1 tablespoon of Lucuma powder and 1 tablespoon of Carob powder. This is a new powder that I've recently gotten into because I feel like it's a little sweeter and again more like cake batter rather than cacao powder. Then I'm using some vanilla, cinnamon, pink Himalayan salt and a tablespoon of coconut oil. And for the base, I only used 1.5 dates and then 1 tablespoon of the date water just to help blend it all together. I'm just using a NutriBullet, so I blend it all up, and as you can see, it was not the right consistency. It was still a little bit dry, so I added a little bit more of the date water. Once I blended it to be a little more wet and gooey, that is when I add more of the blanched almond meal, and I suppose I added another 1/2 cup. So in total, I'm using 1 full cup of almond meal. As you can see, it was still a little bit moist, so I just kept adding more almond meal until it was the right consistency. I separated the dough into little balls, squished it in my hands like a disc, and placed it on the patties. And this ended up making 12 mini cheesecakes. Then I just put it in the freezer to set while I make the filling. And now it's time for the filling, the best part. This is where all the caramel comes in. So you're going to be using the rest of your dates, 2 tablespoons of the date water, and then I'm using Yacon syrup. And this is sort of similar to maple syrup or agave nectar. I just think it tastes more like toffee and caramel, so that's why I used it in this recipe. Then I'm using a tablespoon of coconut oil, vanilla, pink Himalayan salt, and Maca powder. And again, Maca powder has a toffee undertone like I talked about this morning. And then I'm also using a teaspoon of coconut cream, and this just makes sure that the filling is nice and creamy and doesn't stay icy when you're setting it in the freezer. I also like when I have texture in my raw dessert, so I like sweet and savory, and I like gooey and crunchy. So I'm adding the Loving Earth caramelized Buckinis inside the mixture, and then I'm putting around a teaspoon of the mixture in each of the patties. As you can see, I didn't measure it very well, so make sure you don't add too much in each, so just make them all even. And then I also added some caramelized Buckinis on top again because, like I said, I like when they're crunchy. Throw that in the freezer and wait for that to set a little bit while you make your topping. I decided to just melt some Loving Earth dark chocolate. So the one thing you want to make sure is you don't burn it. I don't own a microwave, so I heat up all of my stuff over the stove. When you do it like this, make sure your boiling water is not hitting the bottom of the bowl because that will burn the chocolate. And again, I put some coconut cream and coconut oil into the mixture just to make sure it was nice and smooth. So as you can see, I've taken it off the heat before it's fully melted because the heat from the bowl will continue to melt the chocolate. Spread a little bit onto each patty. I just ended up storing mine in the freezer and they actually taste really, really good, not too icy because you do have the coconut oil and the coconut cream to keep it creamy and moist. And then I topped it with more caramelized Buckinis, pink Himalayan salt, and Yacon syrup. Alright you guys, the sad part of the vlog, the end. We've come to the contemplating right now. It's the morning. I don't really want to make my bed, and I hate it because like our apartment rule is whoever leaves the bed last has to make the bed, and every morning Kurt goes off to work in the morning and I tell myself like, Sarah, get up, go for a walk before Kurt leaves, and I never do. So every single day I have to make the bed, and it's just something I hate doing. But anyway, I suppose I should wrap up this vlog now and edit it and get it up for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and let me know what kind of things you enjoyed in this vlog, because I feel like it was very diverse. Like I had a workout, I had recipes, I had... That's about it. Please subscribe because I upload new videos every 3 days. I'm probably gonna go eat another raw vegan salted caramel cheesecake. I'm gonna work on that whole portion control thing. Talk to you guys later.